Hi cuties. So today I wanted to upload a little bit of a slower video because I am sick. I don't know if you can hear it. It's a little bit of a lazy day for me, okay? And I really wanted to talk about a game that I've been trying to give my all. Oh, here we go. But yeah, as I was saying, I wanted to hop on here and talk about the Outer Worlds 2 because this is a game that I was very, very excited for, and I've put about maybe 15 hours into it now, and I don't know how to feel about it, y'all. I'm gonna be real. Now, firstly, let me give you guys a bunch of clarification, okay? I am a big RPG guy. I love a lot of different RPGs, especially this team's original masterpiece of Fallout New Vegas, okay? I'm totally aware that the team that made this game isn't really the exact same as it was when they made Fallout New Vegas, but that game is sort of a title that follows them around no matter where they go. It's like, when they made Avowed, it's like, oh, it's gonna be a New Vegas Skyrim type title, and it's like, okay, what a weird comparison, but okay. You know, when the Outer Worlds was originally announced, it's like, oh, Tim Kane's behind the project, so it's going to be, a space Fallout New Vegas. And it's like, damn, no matter what this team does, they can't really escape the New Vegas title. Yeah, I just say all that to say, like, this game doesn't really hold a candle to the greatness of Fallout New Vegas in my eyes, or really any of their other titles, like Pillars of Eternity or whatnot. Before we get too balls deep into this like first impressions type review, I suppose I just want to say I am not dunking on this game, and I don't think it's bad by any means, really. Like, I think this is a very fine video game. As far as RPGs go, it's polished, it plays good. I believe the gameplay is significantly improved from the first title. It's just, there's a couple of little things that are bothering me, nagging at me, if you will. So as you can see, I am in Golden Ridge, I believe. I am level 8, as you can see at the top left. Now you might be thinking to yourself like, bro, it's an RPG, level 8 ain't nothing. You gotta keep going, you gotta keep progressing before you can judge the game and whatnot. But I don't think that's true, y'all. With a game like Fallout New Vegas, obviously, or even Outer Worlds 1, I was immediately enamored with the world, and I wanted to keep playing as soon as I started the game. However, when this game started, the prologue was solid, I guess, and the first planet was just, man. I don't want to like immediately dismiss the game just with this stupid ass word, but I have to say, like, the first planet was really just a mid experience overall. None of the side quests were particularly interesting except for the one where I got the boost rocket jump double jump things. That was a pretty fun side quest, and I mean the dialogue along the way has been funny. Obviously humor is very opinion based. A lot of people say it's like, oh, this is Reddit humor, it's not funny. I mean, that's fair, I guess, if that's what you think it is, but I wouldn't say it's like Reddit humor. The Outer Worlds 1 immediately did a fantastic job of laying the foundation of what the setting was, like what the major reputation system is going to be like. I feel like Outer Worlds 1 did a great job at like setting the foundation of what you're really getting yourself into like as soon as the game started. Whereas in this game, a lot of new factions are here. Obviously, they brought back the same reputation system. And there's just a lot, and I mean a lot of exposition right off the rip. And a lot of new factions, and you're just kind of like, what the fuck is going on right now? Obviously, once again, that's very opinion based. Some people are going to be like, oh, I like all the dialogue, and I like the fact that they immediately dump us with a shit ton of new factions and stuff. But me personally, man, like, I just wanted to get right into it. The prologue was fantastic. I thought it was very cinematic. There was some cool set pieces and whatnot. But after that, just like the first planet in general, I just wasn't vibing with it. Outer Worlds has these, like, instead of a big open world, it's basically like multiple smaller open zones that you can play around with. And in Outer Worlds 1, I really appreciated that. Before I, continue talking about what I don't like about this game, I want to say the improvements to the gameplay have been pretty great. I do like the way the guns feel here. It's definitely better than Outer Worlds 1. But, I mean, it kind of stops there in terms of the improvements in my mind. Obviously, like, the graphics are better or whatnot, but everything else is kind of stagnant in terms of the improvements, or in some cases, I feel like they've regressed. In my opinion, these first two companions here, I don't really like them as much as somebody like a Parvati in Outer Worlds 1. I do like the bantering between the companions so far. It's definitely been humorous, but I don't know, man. I just feel like they're not really as compelling as they were in Outer Worlds 1. Since Outer Worlds 1 came out, that was 2019, I've played better, bigger, bolder RPGs like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and obviously Baldur's Gate 3, which is like, it's kind of unfair to compare this game to that, but is it though? I mean, Obsidian is owned by Microsoft, a gigantic corporation that can put a shit ton of money behind them. And it's not like I need an RPG to sort of reinvent the wheel every single time. I totally think it's okay to sort of stick to what you're good at if it's a well-oiled machine, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I just feel like Outer Worlds 2, it could be so much better than what it is. Like I said, like I really don't want to hate on Outer Worlds 2, and I honestly don't know if I can truly articulate just how I feel about it. I actually got this game 4 days early because I decided to spend the $30 extra to play it early because I was a big fan of Outer Worlds 1, you know? I only had to spend $30 because I also have Game Pass or whatever, so it's not like I spent like $100 on it. Definitely would not say don't spend $100 on this game, you know? Just a really big RPG fan, you know? I love branching dialogue choices. I love the reputation systems that previous Obsidian games have had, but a lot of the systems here are just so like just basic and cookie cutter. Like, for example, right, like this is my inventory. Here's just a bunch of stupid fucking guns. This is the exact same revolver. Boom, boom, boom. Here's a bunch of stupid fucking outfits that are just, you know, some are slightly better than the other. If we go over here and talk to Miles, he actually has a field tinkering thing where you can access the workbench through him. And I mean, the crafting and the mod system in this game is the most like nothing burger shit ever, bro. Of this is exciting to me. Like, I don't want to, you know, I don't get excited to go like, oh, I can't wait to find some ferrochromium and some cloth to make myself defensive plates. It's like I don't really interact with anything like this, and I don't think you have to have a good time in this game. That kind of just goes for like the party upgrades in general. Like you know, this isn't Mass Effect where like you have to upgrade your party for, you know, a good gameplay experience. Like, I've really been ignoring the shit out of this. It's so weird because like Outer Worlds 2 is a good game, and you know there are people that are going to play it and they're going to absolutely love it. Probably give it, you know, 9s and 10s out of 10s, you know. So to some people this is going to be their first RPG masterpiece or whatever, but for me I've just found myself getting so bored every time I log on. I know you're probably thinking like, well, if you're bored, like why are you playing it? And I mean, I think it's just one of those things where when you play an RPG, there are some that take quite a while to get into, and then you're like, okay, I'm tripping. Especially with a lot of like JRPGs, that's sort of like the thing, you know, like the first few hours are, you know, you like getting your feet wet, you're just sort of diving into the world and seeing eventually what it's going to blossom into. But with this game, it's sort of like nothing has really transpired. It's like, you know, it's a revenge story. We're looking for this woman. It's a tired concept that's been done before, and you know, although the dialogue in this game is funnier than what you'd see in other revenge stories, it's still nothing that's been, I don't want to say innovative because I don't need them to reinvent the wheel, but it's just like nothing here has been surprising to me so far. Also, I don't know if I said this before, but I did play Avowed earlier this year, and I also thought that was a very stagnant, bland, boring title. However, Outer Worlds 2 is leaps and bounds better than that game in a few areas, in my opinion. Avowed feels like genuinely lifeless, like where you can tell the NPCs have no like daily rotation of what they're doing. At least in this game, in some of the towns, I can see NPCs walking around and doing stuff. Obviously, a big thing about the Outer Worlds franchise and the most innovative thing that they have implemented is the flaw system. But here, every single time a new flaw pops up, I don't find it to be too interesting. I do have, hold on, I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it, but I have the bad knees flaw where, you know, you crouch and your knees will crack, but you can crouch walk faster everywhere. That's definitely really, really funny. But I mean, that's kind of the thing with the flaws. They're really just funny, you know. They don't really serve a crazy purpose unless you're doing like an all flaws run, which would be pretty entertaining, I think. I thought it was funny, like I got the premium edition for this game and they gave me like a capitalist flaw or something like that, where it's like I love purchases, and I thought that was pretty entertaining, but I didn't accept it. I don't know, it's maybe I'm not forming my thoughts well, and maybe I'm not articulating myself well enough in terms of, you know, why I don't necessarily enjoy this game as much as the first. This is more of like a first impressions take. Ow. I'm not exactly sure if the game is going to continue to get better or perhaps get worse, or if I'm not going to enjoy it more. One thing I definitely want to talk about is the skill system. So this is my character right now. I'm definitely putting a lot more points into speech and stuff. But in the first area of the game, like the first big planet or whatever, it felt like I was locked out of so many conversations simply because I didn't have a lot of stuff leveled up very high. It felt like in the main planet, the first planet, I couldn't do a lot of stuff in conversations because my skills weren't high enough. And I don't know, when I got to the Vox Relay, which is like the big climactic point of the first planet, I couldn't really do anything. I was underleveled somehow, even though I did so many quests. Like I can show you guys, I did a fuck ton of side quests and I leveled up quite a bit. And I don't know, I found it to be really disappointing because it doesn't really, you know, the game sort of like railroads you into only having like a couple of skills be like higher, and for me that locked me out of a lot of conversations and stuff like that. I know you could probably say skill issue. Try not to be a jack of all trades, I suppose, but you know, in other RPGs they let you do that and it's not like the biggest deal in the world. Another problem I had with the first area is and honestly this area so far too. I mean, I'm just sort of like walking around talking to you guys. But the first map was like very, very empty. I mean, there were a few buildings. I wish I could show you guys the map actually. I mean, it's sort of similar to this, really. Like, you just see, like, a few buildings here, and then there's a shit ton of open space where sometimes I'd find a building, explore it, realize I can't do anything, and then do a side quest later and find out that that same building was for that side quest that I'd already stumbled upon, but I just couldn't activate it yet. You know, in other RPGs like Baldur's Gate or something like that, you find a building and there's people there already. You can interact with them and it probably start the quest just a bit differently. And I think that that's super duper interesting. I don't know. It just feels like I was missing out on a lot of stuff simply because I didn't have the right skills, and that didn't really lead to like an interesting gameplay moment for me. It was really just like, damn, I feel like I'm missing out on content just because I picked the wrong thing, you know. So I want to say I've been having like really good performance on this game too. I know a lot of people are saying that there's been some like Unreal Engine stutters and whatnot, but the game is running flawless for me personally. I haven't even had a single crash, so that's great. Like I said, I don't want this video to come off as me being a hater or, you know, me just shitting on this game because of, you know, whatever agenda. I don't know. Like, I truly went into it wanting to love it, wanting to appreciate it, but so far, you know, I'm only on the second planet, I suppose. So far, nothing about this game has particularly wowed me in any way. I still plan on continuing to play it, and I definitely want to eventually put out maybe like a final impressions video, like you know, once I beat it, I can give you guys my full thoughts on the full experience or whatnot. But as of right now, I wanted to hop on here and sort of, you know, I'm sick, so I just wanted to put out a little lazy video for you, you know what I mean, and just sort of give you my first impressions of this game. And I don't know, I'm a little disappointed so far, I can't lie. I'm super curious to see how you guys are feeling about the game personally, to see if, you know, maybe you like this game more than the first one, maybe you gave up on the first one but you feel like this one's better. Outer Worlds 1 was a very similar case for me, where like I started it, I was like, I don't know how I'm feeling about this, and then I came back to it and I was like, okay, I was being a bitch, like this game is great, you know. I don't want to give off the impression that like every single RPG I play has to be like Fallout New Vegas level or Baldur's Gate 3 level. I guess it's just sort of hard to play games like this once you do play a great RPG right before it. Not to mention, I've been playing a shit ton of Ball Pit and Hades 2 as I'm playing this game, and every single time I hop back on this, I'm like, damn, I'd rather just be, you know, breaking some balls and shit. It's a thing where I'm like just not in the mood to play an RPG at the moment. It could just totally be that. I think when reviewing games, a lot of people forget that you have to be in the right mindset to play them, you know? So maybe I'm just tripping. I don't know. But yeah, this is a bit of like a shorter review, like a shorter first impressions review, I guess. I sort of want it to be like a discussion with you guys in the comments and talk about, you know, if you guys are feeling the same way about this game, because I want to love it with my whole heart, but so far it's just kind of been meh. Comment down below. I'm gonna be replying to you guys about this game. I'm gonna keep playing it. Okay, I'm gonna try my best to beat it because, like I said, I love Obsidian. I love RPGs, and I want this game to be great. Okay, I do want to mention just how great the soundtrack is. If you go over here and you go to your journal and you go over here to the wireless radio thing, you can play these radio stations that just give off that New Vegas vibe, you know, the classic fucking music. It's really funny because like this Auntie's Choice one, it's like they just play like advertisements in song form, and it's so fucking funny, and it's very creative too, because like, you know, they obviously had to like make all that, and it sounds very high quality. Also, I do want to say like the reputation system is good here. Okay, like that is something that they for the most part always get right. I actually have a perk where, you know, I'm witty, so no matter what, it can't go below the neutral point, which sort of like negates the whole thing no matter what. But I still think it's good here. Like, you know, if you go, you can kill like a major leader of a faction and they will despise you no matter what. I think that that's something that's missing in the Bethesda style RPGs like Starfield and whatnot. I love these Obsidian ones where you can literally just do whatever you want, essentially kill whoever you want, be a complete psychopath. I love that freedom of choice, you know. Yeah, that's really all I got for now, though, y'all. I love you. Bye.